It was 7:30 a.m. on May 9th, 1980, and a freighter was encountering rough weather. A 600-foot-long Summit Venture was headed toward port in Tampa, Florida, when a squall hit, reducing visibility to just about zero.
The captain of the ship could literally not see the front of the ship at all. And the winds were perhaps up to 60 miles per hour. That's what was reported at the time.
Looming ahead in the rain-spattered sea was the Sunshine Skyway, a 5.5-mile-long steel span that arched across the bay. The freighter captain knew it was out there, somewhere. If he stopped, he risked having high winds blow him into the bridge. Opened in 1954, the Skyway was a cantilever truss span between St. Petersburg and Bradenton. In 1971, a second roadway was added to the busy thoroughfare. In 1980, as the captain approached the bridge, hidden in the heavy weather, his radar went out. He knew he had to make a 13-degree turn to navigate beneath the span. To make matters worse, he was aware there was another ship in the channel.
There was another freighter coming out of port called the Pure Oil. And what occurred is that in his attempt to evade striking the Skyway bridge, also trying to evade wrecking with this huge tanker coming his way, he decided to slow down. Unbeknownst to the Summit Venture, the wind changed and she was essentially blown into the existing Skyway bridge, striking the second pier about 800 feet to the south of the channel.
The captain of the Summit Venture knew the collision caused severe damage and put out a frantic distress call. More than 1,000 feet of roadway tumbled into Tampa Bay. A bus traveling on the bridge fell, along with 7 other vehicles. In all, 35 people met their end. Then, in a weather pattern typical for Tampa Bay, the squall lifted and the skies cleared. Eckerd College, which has a search and rescue training program, responded with 2 boats.
When we came around that channel turn, I think we all stopped breathing for a few seconds. There was dead silence. We're having the crackling radio, which is telling us the bridge is down, and we were just stunned.
All stations, this is United States Coast Guard, St. Petersburg, Florida. Any vessels in Tampa Bay area, Skyway vicinity, proceed and assist. There are reports of people in the water.
The rescue team pulled 7 bodies from the water that morning and returned the next day to continue rescue operations. Eventually, the bus was pulled from the bay, and 28 more bodies were recovered. Shock spread through the engineering community.
People were just, couldn't believe it. It just, the Skyway, this happened in Tampa, because you just don't hear about these kinds of things very often. Of course, it's about the worst possible thing that could happen to the bridge that you either worked on or you're the primary designer of. So we as engineers immediately try to find out what could have been done to avoid the situation.
Following an accident investigation, the captain of the Summit Venture was found blameless in the accident. Bad weather and failed radar put him in a tough spot. But investigators found that the location of the bridge was a liability. It left freighter captains little room to maneuver.
Both ships draw 20 feet or more of water, depending upon whether they're fully loaded or not. Tampa Bay is a shallow bay. I believe the average depth throughout the bay is only 13 feet. So a ship of that size must stay in the channel. If it leaves the channel, it's aground.
Confined to a narrow channel, the freighter captain had to make the 13-degree turn before going beneath the bridge. Investigators determined that bad weather on the day of the disaster made this seemingly simple maneuver treacherous.
Unfortunately, the Summit Venture struck the bridge at probably the most vulnerable spot it could. It basically knocked the legs out from under the bridge.
Investigators also realized that the bridge had no protection against a vessel collision. With this knowledge in hand, Tampa was determined to rebuild a better situated and better protected Sunshine Skyway. The first step was to pick a spot for the new span.
The original bridge alignment was had the ships passing beneath the bridge at the same moment in time they were making preparations for a turn, and the new alignment allows those two events to occur at separate moments in time.
Then the Sunshine Skyway was redesigned by Big Engineering Group with major improvements. More than 300 concrete segments of the span were linked together with high-strength steel cables. Large concrete islands called dolphins, capable of absorbing the impact of an 87,000-ton ship, were installed around each of the bridge's 6 piers.
The 65-foot diameter dolphins were each designed to resist an impact force of 29.6 million pounds. To put that in perspective, that's essentially the weight of concrete. If you've completely covered a football field 4 feet deep in concrete, that would be a similar load for the dolphins.
For engineers, there were many lessons learned from the collision of the Summit Venture.
With the increase in vessel traffic, that this type of accident is a reality that one must deal with and one must design for.
The Sunshine Skyway disaster taught bridge designers in Florida and around the world how to design these structures not only to better withstand vessel collisions, but also to prevent them. Like the new Skyway, many modern bridges have a larger radar profile and better nighttime visibility.